We are the Guinea Pig Collective. All will be assimilated. Resistance is futile.
Guys, welcome back as we're hanging out with Dark Helmet, the master of the sci-fi, and of course that new Transformers pick. Well, is it really new at this point? It's been a few months. So go ahead, we got Helmet hanging out right here, and we got something to take a look at from Transformers movie 1986. We got Studio Series Bumblebee! So we're going to go ahead, we're going to take a look at this one. Now I know I've seen some of the reviews that other people had on this, and it's always a chore to be able to remember to get around to all these figures that are sitting in the back, but that's what I'm going to be doing moving forward, unfortunately, since there won't be as many live streams. But yeah, not bad looking. I mean, it looks like a Beetle. I mean, I wish they would have did a better job from what I'm seeing already on the vehicle form. I wish they would have made it look more like a traditional Beetle and not like a newer one like a Cooper or something. Otherwise, the figure in the box is interesting, and hopefully it holds up like the origin Bumblebee did. So let's go ahead and get out of the box and take a look at this little yellow sucker. Right out of the box, here we go with our Studio Series 86 Bumblebee. Not bad. He looks a little bit on the stumpy side, and I can't quite place what it is. So I grabbed my 86 Cliff Jumper, and they're roughly the same size, but it does look like Cliff Jumper's. Yes, Cliff Jumper's legs are a bit longer than Bumblebee's. So I think they shortened his legs a little bit too much. I know they made the bottom of the car a lot bigger like the original G1 figure is, but even in the cartoon, it wasn't quite that big. So I don't know. I really don't know if there's anything they could have did with that. I mean, maybe they should have made the thighs just a little bit longer or something. I don't know, because he definitely looks on the stumpy side because of that. But let's go ahead. Let's see what he can do. We had to get Bumblebee, the little short Bumblebee, the Bumblebee that almost could. Got him balanced off the back wall, got him in a bit of a running position. He does not balance very well at all. He's got a very, very small point of standing on the bottom of this. So it's just this little black bar that's sitting right there that folds up. So it doesn't give a lot of space for him to actually be able to balance. That is a shame. That's a freaking huge miss right there. I mean, if they would have found a way to tuck those bars in, he could have stood up and wouldn't be falling over like a midget in Oz. So he does have some movement right there in his teeny tiny little legs that is very close to his thigh, knees, and everything. And he doesn't have a traditional rocker. It's actually the whole bottom panel for the whole foot. It's really weird the way it's designed. So it's not anything like a traditional joint that you see on some of the other ones. Decent movement up in the arms and the shoulders and the hands, the head. There's very, very little movement in his head. It doesn't move, it doesn't look up, it doesn't look down. It just kind of turns side to side. And of course the waist turn. As for that articulation, for being able to get this Bumblebee into a kneeling position, I can pretty much say for certain there are certain senators and Congress people and I don't know, maybe somebody in higher office that can get down to a much better kneeling position than this Bumblebee. This is absolutely atrocious. Even with the extra bends and movements that are in this thing, you cannot even approximate a kneeling position on this one. Looks like Bumblebee is going to lose some work out at the corner tonight. Go with Bumblebee celebrating. I don't know what you're celebrating about Bumblebee. Your articulation is horrible. This one, I know the design looks okay, but his legs look way too damn stumpy. There are a lot of misses on this figure, and anybody saying that this figure is perfect, you're not really paying attention to what you bought. You really need to take an unbiased look, because this thing is far from freaking perfect. I think they did a better job in the War for Cybertron series of figures with Bumblebee. This one, while it's okay in a robot form, it is not all that great. I'm sorry, it is not. There are just too many misses with this figure in the way that they put all these joints in. And here we go in this Beetle mode. Did you notice something's missing off the top? Oh man, they shortchanged me? No, there, that just popped right the hell off while I was transforming. Nice Hasbro. And always nice when you barely put these things together and they fall apart during transformation. What a way to go. That's sure to bring a whole bunch of people in to buy your product. Ay, ay, ay. As a Volkswagen Beetle, it's very squarish. I mean, I remember the original toy had a bit of a square top, wasn't really rounded like a real Volkswagen Beetle, but this seems exceptionally squared out like a Mini Cooper or something. You can port the gun onto the back, but yeah, let me tell you, the absolute pain in the ass to try to snap all this stuff together. Holy crap. It's like dealing with your girlfriend if everything she has is plastic limbs. This is just a mess. Final thoughts on this midget. So, like I said before, I think they did Bumblebee better, not only in the origin Bumblebee, but I think in the Kingdom, the War for Cybertron stuff, I think that Bumblebee was a lot better than this one. I think they came close. They came close to getting a Volkswagen Beetle, but they were a little bit off. Just a hair. I don't know. This one just kind of doesn't do it for me, especially when you got pieces falling the hell off. Pieces that fall off that were supposed to be securely on the figure, when you go to transform it, shit just falls off. Like, you kind of missed me with that. When you don't get the articulation that you should see with a figure, and I don't care if it's this side, because I've seen them do things, the little side figures for Soundwave and Blaster. There's little teeny tiny little things, you know, like the little flying monkey size. Those things can actually get down in kneeling positions, and they seem to have a lot better articulation than this thing. This thing is far from perfect. It has a few things going for it where it kind of reminds you of that G1 Bumblebee a little bit from the 86 cartoon, but I think they missed this one by a pretty wide margin. I think that they could have done a lot better. They need to go back to the drawing board with this one. I would say if you were looking for a better Bumblebee, I would say look into the War for Cybertron line. I really do feel that Bumblebee was done a lot better than this one. This one just feels like a miss to me. It feels cheap too. That's another thing. Cheap. Like, look, if I want something this lazily done, I'd go play skee-ball at some local freaking arcade place, because that's what this feels like to me, especially the way that it's falling apart. The best I can give this one is a 6 out of 10. I was really hoping that this one was going to be a lot better than this, but it just misses all the way around for me.
Prime told me there'd be days like this.
And you didn't believe him?
I do now.
Guys, that is all we have on this Studio Series 1986 Bumblebee. What did you guys think of our assessment on this one? Do you think we killed it this time, unlike Bumblebee in the 1986 movie? Or did you think we missed something? Be sure to let Dark Helmet know what you thought about this one.
The Transformers, more than meets the eye. The Transformers.